Hey kids, welcome to Story Hour Online. Looks like spring has finally sprung. I like looking out the windows at all the flowers and the lilac tree just outside my window and all its pretty smells. What's your favorite thing about spring? So for today's book, we're going to read Flowers Are Calling. Story by Rita Gray. Pictures by Kenard Pak. Flowers are calling a little black bear. No, not a bear. He doesn't care. They're calling a butterfly to dip from the air. Flowers are calling a wet green frog. No, not a frog. She likes her soggy bog. They're calling a bumblebee to look near their log. Flowers are calling a porcupine. No, not a porcupine. She wouldn't take the time. They're calling a hummingbird to sip at their vine. And then we have pictures of flowers, guys. We have Queen Anne's lace and a mock should. Flowers are calling a loud blue jay. Not a jay. He wouldn't stay. They're calling a honeybee to fly their way. Flowers are calling a little moose. No, not a moose. What would be the use? They're calling a beetle to eat their pollen loose. Flowers are calling a rabbit to stop. No, not a rabbit. It's not their habit to call a rabbit. He might grab it. They're calling a bee fly to visit their spot. So we have apple tree blossoms. If you drive by Bojo's and you look way in the back, you might see their apple trees have blossoms on them. And of course, violets. You guys see the wild violets? They pop up everywhere. Flowers are calling a small brown snake. No, not a snake, for goodness sake. They're calling a pollen wasp with nectar to take. Flowers are calling a fat raccoon. No, not a raccoon. He doesn't care for white bloom or sweet perfume. They're calling a moth in the light of the moon. Flowers are calling a desert deer. No, not a deer. He can't even get near. They're calling a nectar bat to flap over here. Then we have something called a blowout beard tongue and garden cactus. Flowers are calling a busy wren. That's the bird. No, not a wren. He's already seen them. They're calling some children to look again. When you look at a flower, what do you see? Color, patterns, and shapes. Their smell and their time of openings. The end. So, are the flowers calling you guys to come and smell them and to pick them and to make bouquets with them? So on Saturday, it's May 1st, and May 1st is May Day, where you're supposed to make a little basket of flowers and give it to somebody that you care a lot about or you love. So I found a pattern at Printables for Kids. Now this is a small May Day basket. You can have an adult make it bigger and print it on some pretty pink or blue or purple or yellow paper. And it comes with a few patterns that you can put on the basket or in the basket. And maybe you can find some other flower head patterns like tulips and put them on some green stems. Can't think of the name right now, kids. But I hope you enjoy the weather, and happy May Day to you. I'll see you next week. Bye.